Hi, this is Becca from UNC Wellness. For this particular video, we're going to focus on balance and core using yoga poses. So having a strong core is really essential for balance. So we're going to start off with some standing balance poses and then go to the floor for some core work. So we'll start just with a quick warm up for the spine. So in our inhale, we're going to sweep our arms overhead. Exhale, soft knees. Fold at the hips, go ahead and come on down. Hands can be on the floor, the block, or you can hang in ragdoll with the arms on the elbows. On the inhale, we'll half lift up, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up, sweep those arms overhead. Take a slight back bend if you choose. Exhale, soft knees, release down. Inhale, half lift up, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Open the heart, tip back. Neutral spine, one more time. Soft knees, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, all tilt back. This time as you release, we're going to bring our arms behind us, open the heart, drop our shoulders. And then release. So we're going to move on to balance. I'm going to start on my right foot. So we'll shift our weight into the right foot. And in order to prep for balance, we want to work on our alignment. So starting with the feet, we'll keep the toes grounded. Try to avoid balling up the foot. Our knee is soft. That will help us engage the quad. And then also finding length through the spine and relax the shoulders. So to start off, you might just place that left toe on the floor, heel above the ankle. It's a good time too to check in with that right knee, make sure it's staying soft. And also note your eye gaze. We want to keep the eye gaze up rather than rounding through the body. So our eye gaze is going to focus on something ahead of us. We can keep the toe on the floor. You can lift the foot and place it on the calf muscle, or if you choose, on the inside of the thigh. What we want to avoid doing is pressing on the kneecap. So your foot should completely miss your knee. So if you feel that your foot's pressing into the knee, either drop it down in that calf muscle or slip up so that you are on your inner thigh. And we can feel our glute. We can feel our strong core in our quads. You're also welcome to lift the arms. And remember, breezy trees are okay. And then we'll peel off that left foot so we can feel our hamstring, our quad, our glute when we're keeping them really active. So we're going to switch sides. So this time we're moving into that left foot. First, check in with the toes. Ground the toes and try to avoid balling the foot up. Active quad. Soft knee, long in the spine. Find that focal point if you lost it. Then we're going to take our right toe. Place the right toe on the floor, heel over the ankle. And then if you want a little more, you can place that right foot on either the calf muscle or the inner thigh. Remember to avoid your kneecap. So if you feel your foot pressing into your knee, either slip down on the muscle, either on the calf, or move up to the inner thigh. Of course, you can also lift up the arms, and those breezy trees are okay. Exhale, let's go ahead and release. Bring the foot down, sweep the arms overhead, big stretch up. Reach, open heart, tilt back, neutral spine, and bring those arms down. So we're going to turn to the short side of the mat. So we're going to do a little balanced half moon. Now, if you like using a block for this pose, you can grab one, or if you don't have a block, a book works perfectly well, right? So we're going to step forward with our left foot. Our right foot's going to stay behind us. We're going to begin in pyramid pose. So we're going to walk our hands down the leg, keeping our sits bones back and our spine neutral as we fold. We're going to bring our fingertips to the floor. And on our inhale, we're going to send our weight into the left leg and pick up the right. So this is a standing straddle split or a standing L. You can stay here or move on to the balanced half moon with me. So if you you're using the block, it's going to be under your left hand. We want the wrist to be directly under our shoulder. I like to place my right hand on the hip first to guide myself. So we're going to open up so that our right hip is stacked on the left. It helps if you flex your right foot because it helps get those core stabilizer muscles going. And then if you're feeling good, you're going to lift your right arm to the sky. And then if you like, you can also look up to your right thumb. Very good. Go ahead and square your hips to the mat. Drop down your back foot and lift yourselves up. Very good. I'm going to switch so you can see to the other side of the mat. We're going to step forward with our right foot. Left foot is back. So pyramid pose again. We're going to fold at the hip. Walk your hands down the leg. Bring the fingertips to your mat. So if you're using your block, this time you're on your right hand. Shift your weight into your right foot. Pick up the left. You can stay here in the standing straddle split. You don't have to move on. But if you'd like to, place your wrist directly under your shoulder on that right side. Again, I like to place my hand on the hip first to help guide me. We're going to stack our right and left hips. This time the left will be on the top. Flex your left foot, and then you can lift your left arm as you're comfortable. And if you choose, you can look up to your left thumb. Very good. Go ahead and square the hips. Drop down that back foot. Lift your way up. Find again your way to the top of the mat. We're going to sweep our arms overhead. Open the heart. And then find forward fold, soft knees. Fold all the way down. And relax the neck. From forward fold, we'll work our way to hands and knees. We're going to do some spinal balance. So if you would like to pad the knees here, you can. So for spinal balance, it works both the core and the lower back. Imagine that you have a glass plate on your lower back. We don't want it to fall off. So we're keeping those hips square to the mat. We'll start off with the legs and then move on to the arms along with some other options. So let's lift the right leg. Knee is in line with the hip. Foot is flexed. We want to feel a nice strong core, strong lower back. Eye gaze ahead of you rather than tucked to the knees. And then bring your right knee down. Pick up the left. Flex the foot. Press back. Knee in line with the hip again. Strong core. Drop the knee down. So we'll add the arms. We're going opposites. Right leg, left arm. Long line of energy from the fingertips to the heel. Eye gaze ahead. We can feel both our abs and our back. Exhale down. And then switch sides. Nice and strong. Flex foot. Energy through the fingers. Exhale down. And again, lifting up on your inhale. Exhale down. And again. So you can stay with this motion and inhale the leg and arm up. Exhale down. You can hold for a little more strength or work with the flow. Another option is to add a bow. So to add a bow, we're going to lift the right leg and left arm, reach back, grab the foot, and we want to think not just about grabbing the foot, but lifting the leg. So we're pressing the hand and the foot together. So pressing that foot into the hand, opening up, eye gaze ahead, bring the arm and leg long, drop down, switching sides, taking that right hand back, finding the foot, press the foot into the hand to help you lift, arm and leg back straight, coming down one more time each side, so either straight or find that bow, pressing the foot into the hand and lifting, feeling that in your quad, coming forward, and then switching sides. And if you have that bow, pressing the foot into the hand. Very good. Now we're headed to child's pose. Press back, bring the hips towards the heels. Let the forehead relax. Arms can be out in front or tucked by the feet. On our inhale, we're going to lift up to all fours and then curl the toes, lift the hips, press the hips up and back to downward facing dog. And for our downward facing dog, bring our shoulder blades together across the back, feeling nice and open through the chest, and the chest pressing towards the thighs. So we feel strong through our core, strong through our shoulders. And we're going to inhale forward to plank. And you can drop down to the knees if you would like. When we're in that plank, we're holding our belly strong, trying not to sway through the back or round through the shoulders. And then curling the toes, press again to downward facing dog, eye gaze to the legs. And again, inhale forward to plank. We're coming to a side plank. The first time we will come to the knee. So drop down to your left knee. We're going to swivel our right heel down and lift up our right arm. So you can stay here or flex the foot and lift the leg if you choose. Very good. Go ahead and square to the mat, coming back onto the toes. We'll switch sides, drop the right knee down, swivel down your left heel, lift the arm, and if you choose, flex the foot and lift it up. Bring ourselves back square to plank, and then press into downward facing dog again, eye gaze to the legs. We'll inhale forward to plank. If you would like to stay on the knees, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, we're going to swivel onto the toes. We're trying to keep our shoulder and wrist stacked. You can also come to your forearm, and we're going to lift that right arm to the sky. You can also look to your right thumb if you choose. Exhale, square to the mat, and we'll switch sides. So rolling onto our feet or dropping down to the knee. We're going to lift the arm, eye gaze looking up to the thumb if we like. Exhale, coming back to our plank pose, pressing into downward facing dog. And then exhale, the knees to the mat. And go ahead and sit back. Child's pose. Arms are shoulder width apart. We're going to do that same sequence one more time. We're going to curl our toes, lift the hips, find downward facing dog. We're going to inhale forward to plank. Keeping the belly strong, we're going to drop down on our left knee, swivel down that right heel, lift up the right arm, and if you choose, flex the top leg and hold. Exhale, bring it down, hands to the mat, switching sides, so drop down your right knee, swivel down your left heel, arm lifts to the sky. We can also flex and lift up our top leg. Exhale, find a way back to our plank, strong core. So we're going to do the planks on the toes. Swivel to the toes. If you need to drop down to the knee, that's fine. Extend our right arm. Look to your right thumb if you choose. Square up. And then swivel to the other side. Drop down the knee if you like. Swivel back to our plank. Press into downward facing dog. Drop the knees to the mat. And then sit back in a child's pose. Arms out in front or tucked by the feet. And from child's pose, we'll lift up to all fours. Do a couple cat and cows before moving to the back. So keeping our body square. We'll inhale, drop the belly, look up for cow, and then round the spine, look at the knees for cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly and look up. And again, round the spine. Look at the knees. Very good. Back to our neutral spine. We're going to kick our feet to the side, come down on the bottom, and then all the way down to the back. So we're going to move to bridge. So for bridge pose, if you like using the block, we can place the block between the knees. That does make the inner thighs have to work a little harder because they're squeezing against that block. So we're going to walk our heels in so that the ankles are right underneath our knees. We're going to keep the core engaged. The chin will point to the sky to keep a neutral curve in the neck. So we're going to press through the heels, lift the hips, finding bridge. And then on the exhale, we're going to lower down. On the inhale, engage the outer thighs and lift. Exhale, keep the control as you lower down. And again, inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, lower. So you can stay with the flowing motion, or you can hold the pose with me and lift the hips up. We're going to slightly walk the shoulder blades underneath us so that we're off our neck. Hands can be on the floor, or you can clasp them under the hips, keeping the knees in line with our hips as well. Very good. Go ahead and lower down and bring the knees into the chest and drop the feet. So we're going to move to some leg extensions. So we're going to bring the knees up so the legs will start at 90 degrees, the knee in line with the hip. When we exhale and come back in, we're going to stop the knee over the hip to keep the abs engaged. So you can do this either one leg at a time, or you can use both legs. So one leg at a time, we inhale, we press out. I'm doing my right leg first. And then exhales, we come in, stop knee over the hip, and then switch sides. So we want to do this in a slow and controlled motion to give our maximum work for our abs. Try not to just go off momentum. So you can stay here with just one leg at a time, or you can send out both. If you are sending out both legs, you can sit on the hands to brace the back. So we start again with our legs 90 degrees. We flex the feet, send them away, and then exhale, come back in. And do a slow and controlled motion as you go out, and then slow and controlled as you come in. If it helps, you can also count. Maybe count to 4 as you go out, and 4 as you come back in. So let's do 2 more, either with one leg at a time or both legs out. Very good. And release. Bring the knees to chest. And drop down. So we're going to work with the hip here. We do some semicircles, one leg at a time. It does get in the core a little bit as well. It's also a good way just to loosen up your hip. So we're going to keep the left foot down. We're going to pick up the right knee. We're going to start with that 90-degree knee again, with the knee right over the hip. On the exhale, we're going to drop the right knee to the side. Keep both sits bones on the mat. We're going to flex the foot, straighten the leg, and then bring the heel to the short edge of the mat, and then come back in 90 degrees. Do that again. Drop the knee to the side, flex the foot, straighten the leg, pull the heel to the short edge of the mat so it's right out in front of you, and back 90 degrees. Let's do that 3 more times. Straighten the leg, pull it long. You got 2 more. Very good. And then 1 more time. Pull it straight, Bring it to the short edge of the mat, and then hug that knee in. We're going to do the same thing, just with the other leg. I'm going to switch so you can see. So we're going to pick up that left leg, knee over the hip. Exhale, drop to the side. Flex the foot, straighten the leg. Bring it to the short edge of the mat. And then back in 90 degrees. So you might find there's some differences between the two sides. That's okay. It's just something to keep in mind. All right, 3 more times here. We got 2. Bring that leg long, pull it to the short edge of the mat. 1 more time. And this time, pull that knee in. Very good. Bring both knees into the chest. And drop those feet to the floor. I'm going to end off with a spinal twist. I'm going to drop the knees to the left. So you can either keep the knees stacked, or if you want to cross the legs and do eagle legs, you can cross the right over the left. Drop down to the side. Release the hip. Then come back to the center. Switching sides, go to the right, or you can cross the legs, left over right with eagle legs. Go over to the right side, relax the hip. Back to the center. And let's stretch out long on the mat. Bring the arms to the side. Just allow yourself to close the eyes for a few moments. Listen to your breath. If you're practicing yoga outside, it's a nice time just to stop and listen to the birds, to the wind, to the trees. Bring our knees into the chest. We're going to roll onto the side and lift up to our seated posture. On our inhale, we're going to reach and stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, reach the hands behind, open the heart, drop your shoulders. 1 more time, inhale, arms up. Exhale to the heart. Thank you for spending a few moments with me. Namaste.